Beloved hearts of love, I, Mary Magdalene, address you this day, and I thank you for your presence with me these few precious moments. Only a few of you on earth know of my gift to life, that being the Magdalene force. May the force be with you. It is my desire and part of the divine plan for the people of earth to now awaken to the greater powers of life that seem submerged beneath and beyond the surface mind and hidden deep within the emotional bodies of the people. Beyond centuries of time, the people's belief systems have been influenced by a belief in duality. And in accordance with people's belief systems, duality is the basic activity in people's lives and experience. Yet when your people came to this earth millions of years ago, your growth and evolution was influenced by polarity, not duality. And that polarity simply known as light and love. Light being an activity expressed in the mind, and love being a quality of the heart. Love that would fulfill all that your minds could dare conceive. Long ago, the attention of the people was on discovering how to use the light, how to expand the light within their minds, become enlightened. And the attention of the people was on discovering the greater love within their hearts, their feeling side of life, how to expand that love, becoming enlivened. And thus, with the greater light and love expressing in their lives, the people came to know that all they could conceive in their minds, that they would achieve, and balanced with what they could make their emotions feel. They would prove that they could make real what their emotions would feel. This polarity of light and love, working together in the mind and heart, produced a balance in their lives that produced great happiness and fulfillment of all their heart's desires. In the first two golden ages, some 12 to 14 million years ago, as a result of studying and understanding and growing the light, studying, understanding, and growing the love, and the fusion of that light and love in the minds and the hearts of the people began to enjoy a state of knowing. There was no such thing as believing. Knowing was the gift of life. Millions of years later, the people of Earth, disconnected from the very source of their lives, the source of that greater light and love, the polarity of life that they had studied, that they could cause to grow and expand in their minds and hearts. That wonderful polarity of life. And having fallen from a state of knowingness to a state of believing, for having disconnected from the very source of your lives, the very source of light and love itself. Over a number of centuries, people fell into what we simply say is a fallen state of consciousness. And all of that has produced the believing, and all the people's belief systems have produced what we call the duality matrix that is in the world today, the good and the bad, rather than the light and the love. Thus, the people have lost contact with their own superpowers that are yet hidden deep within their mind, brain, and feelings heart. The Master Christ knew of the conditions that would be upon this earth, and spoke of those who would awaken and reconnect to the source of their beings, and begin to study and focus more upon the light and the love, and focus less upon the duality of good and bad. The Master Christ said that a time will come that those who are awakening and beginning the climb, beginning the journey, the sacred mountain, back up into higher states of consciousness, where there would be more light in their mind-brain matrix, and more love in their feeling heart side of life. The Christ said that when this time comes, and it is happening now on the earth, that these who he deemed would be the initial waves of people awakening, that you would have to teach yourselves how to be in the world, but no longer of it. Allowing all the duality to leave your consciousness. And once that duality leaves your consciousness, it then begins to leave your physical realities, your physical bodies. And then you would have to teach yourselves that as you're growing the polarity of life once again, be careful. For you are coming to that place where less and less are you of the things of the outer world, and more are you returning to your divine nature. Thus the words of the great Master, for that time has come now, to be in the world, yet not of it, not of all the duality, rather returning to the polarity that is your true divine nature. We are seeing much change in the world now. We are seeing the millions who are awakening. And we know that those millions must, as quickly as possible, become hundreds of millions to avoid future harm upon this planet. There is such a necessity now for the numbers of peoples to awaken, so that the present harm that we see in the world that is against the people, the present harm that is against the powers of nature and the present harm that is being done against other kingdoms of life has reached a dangerous level regarding the survival of the species, the world, and the planet itself. Yet there are many who have responded and have an awareness of this. And thus, there are those of us who are seeking to help the people of Earth, the ascended host, the angelic host, and precious hearts, even great cosmic beings that ye know not of, are coming in from Orion and other systems of worlds to pour the light, to overlight the minds and the hearts of the people, to assist all who are seeking, seeing, to receive the help. We all seek to pour our light and our love into the minds and hearts of the people, to make them sensitive once again to seek the truth, to discover their true identity, discover their higher purpose and divine plan. So all of us, precious hearts, we are all using every means available to us to continue to expand upon the great awakening of the people. Millions of those awake must become hundreds of millions. And all of us working together to undo what has caused such suffering and limitation and even downright evil in the world. There's no question. The great awakening of the people of Earth is now well underway. Yet hear this from I, Mary Magdalene. The millions today who are awakening, we require hundreds of millions of people on Earth to awaken in these next 5 years, and therefore avoid greater problems and catastrophes that we see will unfold in your near future if there are not greater numbers by the hundreds of millions awakening. So to all of you, Radiant Roses of the Radiant Rose Academy, to all those, the some 26,000 people who subscribe to the YouTube channel of the Academy, all of you who are awake, you beloved hearts, your consciousness is expanding. Light is growing within you. Love is growing within you. And what is required is that rather than the consciousness of duality be overshadowing the mass of the people, it is the consciousness of all of you who are awake. Consciousness knows no limitation except the limitation one places upon their own beliefs. All of you who are awakening, you can you can so determine that your consciousness, for you are climbing the most sacred mountain now, following the path of the Christ, seeking to express the pinnacle, the peak of the source of your beingness, a sacred and divine state of consciousness, Christ consciousness. And to all of you, I say to you, command that as your own consciousness continues to be filled with as much light and love, and you call upon us to keep expanding the light and love within your consciousness, and then command your consciousness of the polarity of light and love expand over the world consciousness and be the overlighting presence. We have a task before us. For too long, the mass consciousness of duality has been overshadowing the consciousness of the people. And that does not help the people awaken to their own divinity. And I, Mary Magdalene, and those of the first family that include the Christ and Mother Mary, Grandmother Anna, and others, the ascended disciples, we are all one voice. You, precious hearts, you who are awakening, you who are growing such beautiful light, such beautiful love within your lives, keep reaching up to us. Keep calling upon us. My goodness, call upon the Goddess of Light. Call upon the Queen of Light. Call upon Lord Melchizedek, Archangel Michael. We're all turning our attention to you. And keep asking us. Keep asking us to fill you with cosmic light and love that has no shadows. And ask us to help you to expand your consciousness so that your consciousness, the consciousness of the people awake, is the consciousness that is overlighting the mass of the people, rather than the duality consciousness that is overshadowing the mass of the people. I take this task seriously. And I say unto you that the people of this world have been given assurance ever since human beings began to embody upon your planet. All life in human beings, almost every age and every cycle, have been told the following: call unto me, and I will answer thee. Ask, and ye shall receive. Seek, and ye shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. And thou shalt decree a thing, and it shall be established unto thee. And I, Mary Magdalene, now ask you, if life did not mean this, the truth within these statements, why would these statements have been kept alive? Yes, returned to you through the Christ, yet they have been kept alive all throughout the millions of years, including the most recent 2.5 million years that mankind has turned away from the light. And then there are the prophets who come and bring these mighty statements back into the attention of the people. Why? Because they are the truth. These statements that the Christ spoke and prophets in other ages have spoken, they have been sent forth to the life in your world, and they come from letters of living fire. They will live forever. Those statements are the action of the cosmic law. And I urge you to remind yourselves of them often. Then there will be no such thing as failure. And all that you desire to do and produce in this world. I, Mary Magdalene, have come to you this day, and I've asked you to call upon me. I've asked you to ask me, and ask the Christ, and the Goddess of Light, and the Lord Melchizedek. I remind you of these sacred statements that are the truth. Call unto me, and I will answer thee. Ask, and ye shall receive. Seek, and ye shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. And finally, thou shalt decree a thing, and it shall be established unto thee. So I return these statements to your consciousness as I ask you who are awake to ask us, your ascended host, to help you to keep growing and expanding the light in your mind, the love in your hearts, and then ask us to help your consciousness expand over the entire globe. And rather than having the consciousness of duality be an overshadowing, limiting influence upon the world, let the light and love that is growing in each of you, we can help you. We can come and expand your consciousness of light and love so that that is what is overlighting the mass of the people. Then, beloved precious hearts, instead of having the millions who are awakening, and we are so grateful for that, and I am sure you are too, then in the next 5 years, we can have hundreds of millions of people awaken. And so, beloved hearts, while people conduct themselves in any undisciplined way they want to, while people out in the world behave in whatever way they want, knowing not how they harm themselves, knowing not how they harm the life in this world. While that is happening, and so much of it, there are some of the people in the world who are genuinely trying to change life in this world. And these ones are the ones that I and others of the Ascended Host desire to assist at this time. And so we must back up for a few moments and come to remember and understand some things. And that begins with urging you to remind yourselves to know and accept immediately, now, right now, that beyond your surface mind, beneath your surface mind, at the center of your beingness, your consciousness, resides your true divine nature, a nature that already knows of the polarity of life, of light and love that I speak of. A divine nature beyond your surface mind, beneath your surface mind, that already knows this polarity of life. And beyond and beneath your feelings, your emotions, resides the greatest love of all, the greatest power of all, the greatest force of all, that being the Magdalene force, a force of sheer will, determination, and power. I say unto you, it is the fuel of the future superheroes that are coming in this world. And because of the conditions that are in the world, many of you who take on the mantle of Christ consciousness, you too must ready yourselves to be a future superhero. And for those who will take that mantle on, you have a friend in Mary Magdalene. And I will stand your side. Only spiritual study, meditation, and making contact with us, your spiritual hierarchy, whom I am a member of, is going to give you the means to make contact with your divine nature and begin to access and express the greater light in your minds and the greater love in your hearts and feelings. And all that you can do now to finish healing your histories, to heal any hurts and wounds or traumas that might remain. This is so vital. It is so vital to complete your healing so that you can feel deeply once again. Feel deeply. Oh, not the pain, not the trauma, not the hurts and wounds. Let's complete our journey of healing that. For beyond all of that, I want to help you. I'm Mary Magdalene. To feel deeply once again. And only when harmony is the predominant feeling and quality in your feeling side of life will you begin to discover and experience the Magdalene force that lies deeply submerged in your emotional bodies. Submerged because that's what duality has done. Beloveds, the Magdalene force is too dangerous for you to make contact with, too dangerous for you to use, as long as you have any discordant emotions remaining in your feeling bodies. There must come a commitment, a new choice in your lives, that you will live in a state of harmony at all times, that you may begin to unleash the superpowers, the God assets that have too long been submerged within your being. It is a choice. Yes, a choice. Yet often the choice itself is not sufficient. Sure, you can say, I choose peace. I choose harmony. But that choice is not sufficient, especially if you are feeling other qualities, such as despondency, depression, anger, frustration, etc. Peace and harmony must exist and express in your feelings all the time, if that Magdalene force is ever to be felt or experienced or used by you. Some of you may feel this is an impossible task. Peace and harmony within my feelings all of the time. Oh, Mary Magdalene, you know not what you're asking of. Yet I say unto all of you, you have all lived, whether you accept it or not. Whether you accept it or not is not going to change the truth. The truth is, you have all lived lifetime after lifetime upon this planet. And the truth is that the origin of your beingness, when you first came to the planet, the origin of your nature was genuine peace and purity, harmony, happiness, and perfection. That was your natural state of being. And precious hearts, that yet remains within each of you, perhaps submerged, perhaps covered over by the duality of this world. Yet all these original, divine superpowers, they all remain in each of you. And we come to help you to recover them, to live them. Even in some of you today who are awake, you know, precious hearts, sometimes I see that you are troubled about something, the things that you're facing in the world, the pressure upon your life. Yet, beloved hearts, feeling troubled is not love. And in truth, it is a terrible vibration to impose upon your feeling body. And so in this journey of awakening, sometimes we must, due to our history, make simple yet profound choices. A choice for peace, once again. A choice to experience only harmony and happiness within ourselves. Yet that choice is only a beginning. We must sincerely desire this for ourselves. And remember what the Christ has said. That all you desire in life, you must first give to others. That is the secret formula. Therefore, I urge you to give peace and harmony in all your interactions with others, in all your relationships. And never allow your tongue to unleash words of anger unto others. Choice and desire. Choose and desire greater peace and harmony within your minds and feeling side of life. Be careful of what you dwell upon, what you place your attention upon. meditate more, and reach up to us who can help you. We're not asking you to do this alone. Reach up to us who can help you to achieve that greater peace and harmony that must reside and express within your entire feeling side of life. Over the years in the Radiant Rose Academy, I have come and taught about the Magdalene Force. Yet there is a limit to how much I can teach about that force, as long as there is some discord in the feeling body that will continue to submerge the Magdalene Force. As each of you desire mastery in achieving divine states of consciousness, Christ consciousness, I, Mary Magdalene, do ask you to understand that the Magdalene Force must resurrect, must rise up in you. For the future Christ that is your destiny to become will use that Magdalene Force to produce not only what the world calls miracles, will also use that Magdalene Force for what the world would call superhero, miraculous powers and action. You are not alone in this task of harmonizing your feeling side of life and your minds. You have many of the great goddesses who have come to offer their assistance. You can call upon them to supercharge your feelings with their peace, their harmony, their love. And beloved, precious hearts, you have the Master, great Germain, and his uncountable legions of the angelic host to call upon, to help you purify and restore your minds, bodies, and feelings to a whole state of harmony. And you can call upon this great Master too, and his violet, purifying, and forgiving sacred fire to give you a good emotional scrub of your emotional bodies, your minds and feelings. There is nothing like a good scrub of the sacred fire to remove from you every discordant vibration you have ever felt or expressed or remains within your multi-body system, until only peace and harmony and other qualities of love remain in your emotional bodies. Then, and you're almost there, precious hearts. But as long as there's any potential to have a discordant moment, that is just more time that the Magdalene Force will not rise in the presence of discord. So call upon the goddesses. You know them by now. To just supercharge you with their feelings and qualities of peace and joy and harmony and more. Call upon the great Germain and his angels to give you a good God scrub of those violet purifying flames in your mind, body, and feelings. So no discord remains and no potential for a future discordant moment remains. Then, precious hearts, call upon I, Mary Magdalene, to come to you. And I will project my Magdalene force into your feeling body to first resurrect in your feelings, raise up in your feelings the qualities of sheer will and determination in you. And when you begin to feel these qualities growing in you, and you sense it and feel it and experience it, and you see how this is helping you in your life, then I will return and I will gently activate the Magdalene force so that you can lovingly feel that force within you. Now, I've offered this before. And those of you who have thought, well, you would have received this by now, go back in time. Go back in time in the classes that I have offered to do this. Since that moment 2-3 years ago, have you ever experienced or expressed discord? Been troubled? Of course you have. So I continue to wait. But you will get there. You will get there. Because one thing you can count on, precious hearts, the choice that you have made for your life, to be the best of you, to discover everything divine and sacred about you, and to be the fulfillment of that. We're not going to let go of you. We're going to keep coming back and coming back and coming back. I say unto you, precious hearts, you have experienced too much pressure of the duality of discord and suffering in this world. And I feel that you should be caused to feel the pressure of so much willful determination of God light and God love. And if you're interested in feeling no more of the pressure of the outer world, and you are interested in feeling the cosmic pressure of my light, my love, my force, and that of the Christ and others of the ascended host, count us in. We are your friends. Let the polarity of light and love reign supreme within yourselves. Call upon Mother Mary and Mother Akasha to help you finish any healing that must yet take place in your life. And call upon Mother Mary. No, she's just wonderful. Sometimes it just feels so hard to forgive people, to really genuinely forgive them for what they've done. And Mother Mary has said, for those people, it just seems that you could say the word, sure, I forgive you, but you don't know if you genuinely feel that way. Mother Mary has said, call upon me to help you to forgive something, to forgive someone, and it will be done. In all ways that you've been invited to ask, call, knock, there is one thing that will stand in the way, and that is the monstrous stepchild of fear and evil. It is called doubt. And I, Mary Magdalene, invite you to compel all doubt that has ever touched your life. Compel that doubt into the sacred fire and be no more. that you, precious heart, you might be the open door to receive everything that you call, that you knock, that you ask for. Use the greater powers that we offer you now. Reach up to us in your prayers, your calls, your meditations. We will come and we will help you. But there must be no doubt in yourselves. You have waited a long time to be heard, to be seen. And I, Mary Magdalene, say to you, I hear you, I see you, and I desire to help you, to love your history free, so that you can be at your best in these precious now moments, to unite with all of your ascended family, to make a wonderful new future for your people, for all life upon your planet, all your fellow kingdoms, and the planet herself. I thank you for your consideration. I am Mary Magdalene. Adonai, dear friends. Adonai, Adonai, Adonai.